ask you questions by just rotating through our bank of questions. So I'll ask a question, then Celicia will, and then Carlin will, and then we'll rotate back through about three times. Then you'll do a quick tech demo for us, and we'll make sure you have about 5 minutes to ask us any questions that you have.
Okay.
And you can ask us questions, any that you have, like I said, but about IRA specifically, this interview, practice mock questions you'd ask at a traditional job interview. That iPad over there is recording you, so you'll have a video recording of your interview, so that you can look back on that, notice any trends in your interview, as well as identify the things you do really well and the things that you want to work on for your job search in the future. Okay? Any questions for us before we get started? Great. So before we get started, it would be helpful for me to know which of the internship job descriptions you chose to focus your interview on today.
Project coordination.
Great, thank you. There's just one question that speaks to the job interview, so it's helpful to know. So, David, I would love to learn a little bit more about you. Would you please tell us what were you doing before you came into the Europe program, and what made you want to pursue enrollment to Europe?
Okay. Prior to Europe, I was in a job readiness program. It was a 12-week program, basically to get me ready for Europe. So it's called the TEAL program. It's with Tamiko. She works with the guys.
Mm-hmm.
And so basically we were just learning professional skills, professional etiquette, and just like a basic rundown of the computer, like different programs such as Microsoft Excel, PowerPoint, etc. And prior to that, I was actually in a whole different work field. It was construction. I worked in construction for probably 3 years prior to that, and it just wasn't working out for me because the work isn't consistent enough. And I have a child, so I need to have a consistent form of income. And so that's what brought me to Europe. I wanted to make a change. I looked up on Google what is the highest paid career right now, and it said something about computer technology. I feel like I have a good brain and I can learn fast, so that's what brought me here to you guys.
Thank you.
So can you tell me of a time where someone else did not understand your point of view, and how did you handle this situation, and what was the outcome?
The time someone didn't understand my point of view, it's so many times. A professional time though. I was working on a house. I was new to painting as well. This is my first day painting, so I have a construction background. I don't have a painting background. And they just threw me out there to see how I was going to do. And I didn't know exactly how to do it. So it was kind of confusing, and for the most part, how I got through it was just asking my coworkers for help. Some were helpful, some others weren't, but I just made the best of my situation. Luckily, we were at the customer's house to where we were painting, so I was able to ask her if she liked how I was doing it, if I had to add an extra coat, or what did she want me to do to specifically make sure that she was satisfied. And overall, it worked out pretty good.
David, why do you want to work in tech?
Like I said in my first question, tech is the most lucrative career right now, and honestly, I believe how tech is going, 10, 15 years from now, every career that exists is going to have something to do with tech. So I feel like I should get a head start on it now and just be prepared for it later.
I have a follow-up question, and then I have my regular question after that. So my follow-up question for you is, are you finding that you enjoy tech?
Yes, tech is actually fun. I've always liked tech, and I didn't understand that. Ever since I was a kid, I dealt with technology, video games, stuff like that. I used to take apart my Xbox and PlayStation, but to me that wasn't tech. That was me playing the video game. And I'm actually I'm actually enjoying quality assurance. Even though I want to be in a project coordination role, quality assurance is fun. Creating a web from scratch is fun, and seeing your finished work, that's all fun to me. So that's something I could definitely see myself doing for a 12-hour shift, let alone an 8.
Awesome. Thank you so much. So then I'll jump. Thank you for clarifying for me. I appreciate it. What would you say has been your greatest challenge or growth area during learning and development? And what have you done to overcome it?
Emotional reaction and body language have definitely been my growth area, my downfall, as far as my opinion and hearing it from other staff. How I'm overcoming that is just taking a deep breath when I feel myself getting worked up, just taking a deep breath and just remembering my why. It sounds kind of corny and cliche, but it actually helps. I talk to peers because I used to hold a lot of things in. So when it comes out, everything comes out. So I'm just learning different ways on out, like having a stress outlet. So I'm just using my peers around me, take a deep breath, and just evaluate the situation like, is this more important than me losing anything that I'm working hard for? So just remember my why. It just helps me get through it.
Yeah. And in thinking about your upcoming internship, how do you plan to ensure that you're able to continue to overcome this once you're in your internship role?
Just continue talking to Alyssa and other student services and just asking different techniques from alumni and staff members. That's also what I do. I also ask, like, how can I become a better professional? I don't have a professional background at all. I'm used to construction. That's not that field is not professional at all to a certain extent. Just professional etiquette of it. So just learning to read environments and stuff like that. Just continue to just adapt.
Thank you.
So, as you know, Europe is a very structured environment, and you're about to move on to an internship where you'll have far less structure and a lot more downtime, meaning your manager might not be around, you might not have a power work, you might have already completed them. So, what is your plan to ensure you're going to be successful in this type of environment?
You always got to work hard then play later. IRA Week really showed me that I can do it. Going into IRA Week, I didn't know how. I always believed in keeping your outside of work life separate than your career. And when you have that, I always felt like if I had too much space too much room for error, then I wouldn't get anything done. But IRA Week showed me that I can do it. Just prioritizing, really, it all comes with maturing, shall I say. So just making sure that I get the job done, because after you get the job done, it's a great feeling. So when you complete a task and then you can go home and watch the Warriors game, that's something to feel accomplished about.
So you said you were interested in project coordination, correct? Okay. What makes you a strong candidate for project coordination?
Well, I'm kind of computer savvy. I know how to use Excel, PowerPoint, etc. I'm a natural leader. People magnetize themselves to me, shall I? They just draw in. I'm a very social person. I'm at a loss for words. I'm a very social person. I'm a very approaching person. I also, like I said, I have past experience in construction, but I ran a team in construction. So I have the management experience. I know how to run a team successfully. I know how to read my coworkers and my peers to best suit their strengths and their growth areas.
Thank you. That was a helpful example.
Yeah.
Thank you. All right. Tell me about a time that you struggled with reliability, and how did you overcome that?
The time I struggle with reliability would have to be high school. Dating back to high school, because since then, I've been working. You can't be unreliable if you want to get a check. So school wasn't really good for me. We would have a lot of team projects, such as Europe. We'd have a lot of partner projects, and my partners could not rely on me. I only did work in class. I didn't do work outside of school. And how it made me feel, it made me feel like a failure because I wasn't actually able to graduate on time from high school. I had to go and get my GED later. And that just stuck with me. And it just made me feel like, okay, whatever I do, I'm gonna do it on time. I'm gonna give my 120%. And ever since then, that's what I've been doing. That's why I was able to move up in the construction field so fast, going from an apprentice role to a management role in under a year, without the required hours needed. I still got it done. Just working hard, really.
Thank you.
So could you share one career goal you have set for yourself, and what are or what were the steps that you took to reach that goal?
Career goal I have for myself is having a project coordination role at Pandora, Spotify, or any other music type of tech company. And the steps that I'm taking, well, in the past I took the YMCA TEAL program, just getting more computer savvy. I'm taking Year Up. Now, after Year Up, what I plan on doing after graduation is possibly gaining an internship. Gaining the job, really. And if it's not at one of those companies, then just going back to school and making sure that I'm overqualified for the job that I really want.
I'm gonna set up a tech demonstration while Chrissy's gonna ask you a scenario-based question.
Great. Let me find my scenario. Okay. So here's the situation. You work for Europe, and let's say that this room, all of this tech equipment is here. It's just all disassembled and it's in a big heap on the floor. And I'm your manager, and I bring you down here and I say, hey, I need for you to figure out some sort of a system to organize and track all of this equipment. And then I leave you down here. What are you gonna do? What tools, what resources are you gonna use, and what are you gonna implement?
Can you repeat?
Yeah, of course. So, imagine that you're asked to organize a room full of tech products.
Okay.
And they're all this is the equipment that's in the room, is all the stuff you see in here. And it's all just in a heap in the middle of the room. It just hasn't been organized since this organization opened. We also haven't been keeping track of what we have and how long we've had it. It's really important that we start doing that, and I'm asking you to do it.
Okay, so first I would have to separate the equipment as far as like the monitors, separate all the monitors together, keyboards, the mouse, all of the hardware first. Then I would have to physically count them and put all of the, first open up Excel. Then I would count them, put in the number of the monitors, the number of the mouses, number, etc. And yeah, that's how we get it together.
Thank you.
And most likely just move everything out the way and make it look pretty.
I think that's it.
Yeah, organize it. Right?
Thank you.
So